frontline APC presidential aspirant, Bola Ahmed Tinubu says he led the political struggle that produced President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015, despite all odds against the newly found APC at the time. Tinubu also says he nominated Professor Yemi Osinbajo as Buhari's running mate to prevent a political stalemate within the APC that could have cost it the presidency also at the time. He spoke at the Presidential Lodge in Abeokuta, in the Ogun State capital, while addressing APC delegates in the state ahead of the party's primaries on Monday. He says Buhari had offered him the APC vice presidential ticket, but that some power blocks within the party, led by Bukola Saraki, rose against him, fanning the embers of Muslim ticket. He adds that he later settled for Osinbajo as a running mate to Buhari so as not to jeopardize the party's chances in 2015, while noting that Saraki fought him just because he wanted the Senate presidency as a fellow Muslim too.
Tí ó bá sí àwa èmi tí ń dúró wájú yìí tí ń lérí ogun tí ní òkè Buhari nìṣó ká máa bá lọ. Kò lè di president. Ó ṣe kìíní olùlẹ̀. Ó ṣe kejì olùlẹ̀. Ó ṣe kẹta olùlẹ̀. Ó tiẹ̀ sunkún lórí tẹlifíṣàn pé láyé òun ò tún rán mọ́. Mo dẹ̀ lọ bá ń Kaduna wá rán ọ̀rọ̀ ẹkún kọ́ lélẹ̀. Àdúró tiẹ̀ wà á dẹ̀ wọlé. Nǹkan kan ní pé o ò ní fọ̀rọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ṣeré. Ó dẹ̀ gbà. Àtijọ́ tó yẹ ti débẹ̀, mi ò gba mínísítà, mi ò gba contract, mi ì tọrọ ọbẹ̀, mi ì tọrọ gàrí, mi ì tọrọ fúra lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀, mi ì dẹ̀ ìyàwó ń bẹ̀. Ó wá ní lọ́tẹ̀ yìí o, Yorùbá ló kàn. Tá a bá dẹ̀ sa Yorùbá náà, èmi ló kàn. Eléyìí tí mo protect àwọn ọmọ tí mo gbé dání tó, èmi náà fẹ́ ṣe president.
I do not have a doubt in my mind, and I'm sure there's no doubt in your mind as to why our leader has come. Our leader, our people have listened to you very well. I'm sure they've digested everything you've said. Rest assured that we will do the right thing. We shall do the right thing. You have justified and stated clearly why power must come to not just the South, but the Southwest.
Well, joining us now for more on this is Arise political editor Sumner Sambo. Sumner, thank you so much for joining us on the news. When you listen to Bola Tinubu, what do you make of him? It seemed like a tell-it-all at that event. A man betrayed?
Yeah, this is the beginning of the muddy fight that will be going on from now till Monday, Tuesday, and hopefully Wednesday, when the APC National Convention will end. Bola Tinubu is a strategist, and even the Buhari political camp is afraid of what may happen after the APC National Convention. And for Tinubu to be reacting like this, he's already gotten the feelings, the signals that something is out there that is not for him, and that it looks like there's a gang up against him. And he's surprised that even after having reached a parley with President Buhari, don't forget in 2011, they had wanted to do the same experiment that happened in 2015, but it backfired because Buhari had thought that with his more than 11 million votes that he can always win the presidency. But of course, that didn't happen. Now, in 2015, they eventually got into power. And there are lots of on-hand deals that went on. And of course, it's very, very clear that Tinubu chose Ogun State to actually make this statement very, very clear that it looks like what's going on, that, you know, there's this talk within the political circles now that in one way or the other, maybe Yemi Osinbajo may actually be the consensus candidate of President Muhammadu Buhari. And so he's saying that, look, there is a Yoruba nation we have to fight for. And if we are not careful, we may be sold a dummy. And that's why I started by saying that Tinubu is a political strategist. So he's also sending a signal to the Yoruba nation that if that is what you are even hearing, you have to be careful because it may be a dummy and only for you to get to the convention and someone like a northerner emerges. Did you hear what Rotimi Akeredolu, the governor of Ondo State, was saying earlier in the day? It looks like there's something different from what the Yoruba people may be preparing for in the APC.
Sumner, this is looking like the battle line has been drawn because who we saw there, we've never seen Bola Ahmed Tinubu in that mood. How can this be handled so that things don't get totally out of hand? And is history about to repeat itself with the Tinubu looking like he's beating a retreat back to his region? Now the ethnic card, the regional card seems to be, you know, played up now. Yeah. What do we make of all this?
It's actually a very tough deal for Tinubu because I remember what Awolowo faced while he was seeking the presidency of Nigeria several times. They've always been these alliances that will be built, and just when you think that it will favor him, especially in the Second Republic, you just discover that the North actually steers away from that. So Tinubu has seen that there's a sort of underground music being played right now which may not favor him. And it looks like Buhari, after having reached some form of accord, because what he has said is very, very clear. I mean, it was known to a lot of persons within the political circles that, yes, President Buhari had said that he was going to make Tinubu his running mate because he had used Chuba Okadigbo, it didn't work. He used Umezi, okay, it didn't work. Tunde Bakare, it didn't work. So in 2015, he didn't really care whoever or wherever the vice presidential candidate was going to come from, as long as the Southwest was going to bring the votes for him. And so Tinubu is angry here because, like he has said, he had...
Is it justifiably so? I mean...
Yes.
Is it an inordinate ambition? Or is this an ambition that will actually put Nigeria on the track that it should go?
Well, that's the reality that we have to face, because Tinubu has to understand that national politics is different from, you know, building alliances between each other. I mean, a lot of party stakeholders in the APC keep telling you that if there was any agreement, it was between Buhari and Tinubu, not between the APC and Tinubu and Buhari. So the APC has become a different party from the one that was formed in 2015. So they have to allow the feelings of the nation to rise. And now you see the Buhari camp too is being careful. They don't want a situation whereby they bring someone from the south as the agitations are going on, yes, and then Buhari is accused of bringing a weaker candidate that the PDP, having a northerner, can defeat. Right. So the idea is that, look, let's look for a consensus, someone that may be able to withstand an Atiku. But there's also the fear that why don't we take it to the southern part of the country and allow for national stability and all of that. But if you go to the south, can the southern candidate be able to defeat an Atiku? And if we present a southern candidate and he's deemed weaker and Atiku wins, won't Buhari be accused of driving a Fulani agenda, of driving a northern agenda by presenting a weaker southern candidate for an Atiku to defeat?
On the other
so these are some of the intrigues that are going on at the moment. But Tinubu is here telling us that if he is given the ticket, he can defeat an Atiku. But the fear also among the Buhari political camp is that if Tinubu doesn't get it, because of his alliance with Atiku over time, don't forget in 2006, when Atiku was denied the ticket in PDP, he ran to the Action Congress, and it was Tinubu that gave him the ticket. So they fear that there may be an alliance between a Tinubu and Atiku, and eventually the APC will go under the waters.
Well, very interesting days ahead.
Yes, indeed.
We'll keep tab of that.
Thank you very much, Sumner Sambo.